In a faraway galaxy, on a planet called Velos 7, representatives from many alien species gathered for an important meeting. This was no ordinary gathering. It was the annual summit of the Galactic Council, a group that made decisions affecting the entire galaxy. The Council had been around for thousands of years, and its members included races with advanced technology, incredible powers, and long histories. But this year, something unusual was happening. For the first time, humans from Earth were invited to join the Council. The aliens didn't think much of humanity. To them, humans were newcomers, weak, disorganized, and unprepared for the challenges of interstellar politics. Many believed Earth would fail during its first diplomatic encounter with extraterrestrials. Some even joked about it openly. One member of the Council, Ambassador Galactic of the Vorthan Empire, laughed loudly when he heard the news. "They won't last a day," he said to anyone who would listen. His words echoed through the grand halls of the Council building. Back on Earth, Commander Alex Carter was getting ready for the mission of a lifetime. He led a small team aboard the starship Pioneer Dawn *, which was designed specifically for deep space exploration and diplomacy. Alex wasn't new to tough situations. He had served in the military and led missions under pressure. But this felt different. This wasn't just about protecting his crew or completing a task. It was about representing all of humanity. If they succeeded, Earth could take its place among the stars. If they failed, humanity might never be taken seriously again. Joining Alex on the mission was Lieutenant Sophia Bennett, a brilliant scientist and skilled negotiator. She had spent months studying the cultures and languages of the alien species they were likely to meet. Her knowledge would be crucial if they hoped to navigate the complex world of galactic politics. Together, Alex and Sophia prepared carefully, knowing how high the stakes were. On Earth, journalist Emma Lane followed every update closely. She worked for one of the largest news networks and had a knack for uncovering stories that mattered. Emma knew this mission could change everything, not just for humanity, but for the entire galaxy. She interviewed experts, read reports, and wrote articles explaining what was at stake. People across the planet watched her broadcasts, eager to learn more about the mysterious aliens humanity was about to meet. When the Pioneer Dawn finally arrived at Velos 7, the atmosphere was tense. The ship landed smoothly, and Alex stepped out onto the platform with Sophia by his side. They wore simple uniforms, plain compared to the elaborate robes and glowing armor of the other delegates. Their quiet confidence surprised some of the aliens, though others dismissed them as amateurs. One observer who took notice was Lyra Kale, a diplomat from the aquatic race known as the Zintheri. Lyra floated gracefully in her water-filled containment suit, her large, shimmering eyes watching Alex closely. She found herself intrigued by these strange newcomers. Why did they seem so calm? What were they hiding? As Alex and Sophia entered the council chamber, whispers filled the room. Some aliens sneered at their appearance, while others simply stared in disbelief. Ambassador Galactic wasted no time mocking them. "Look at these primitives," he said, his voice dripping with contempt. "Do they even know where they are?" But Alex didn't react. He stood tall, meeting the gazes of the council members without flinching. Sophia kept her expression neutral, though her mind raced with thoughts of what lay ahead. They both knew they couldn't afford to make mistakes. Not here, not now. Little did anyone realize, the arrival of humanity was about to shake the galaxy in ways no one could have predicted. The stage was set, and the drama was just beginning. As Alex Carter and Lieutenant Sophia Bennett entered the grand chamber of the Galactic Council, they felt hundreds of eyes on them. The room was massive, with towering ceilings and walls made of a shimmering material that seemed to glow faintly. Strange symbols floated in the air, projected by advanced technology none of them had ever seen before. Delegates from dozens of alien species filled the circular seating area, each dressed in outfits that reflected their unique cultures. Some wore flowing robes covered in intricate patterns, while others sported metallic suits or glowing accessories. Despite the beauty of the setting, the atmosphere was heavy with tension. Alex took a deep breath and walked forward, his steps steady and deliberate. He knew how important this moment was, not just for him, but for all of humanity. Beside him, Sophia kept her focus sharp, scanning the crowd for any signs of hostility or opportunity. They stopped at the center of the room, where a raised platform marked the spot for speakers. A hush fell over the assembly as everyone waited to see what these newcomers would do. The first to speak was Elder Zorith, the leader of the council. His voice echoed through the chamber, deep and resonant. "Welcome, representatives of Earth," he said, though his tone carried no warmth. "You have been invited here to prove your worth among the stars. Do you accept the trials set forth by this council?" Alex nodded once, his expression calm but firm. "We accept," he replied, his voice clear and steady. Though he wasn't shouting, it carried enough strength to silence even the skeptics for a moment. From the sidelines, Ambassador Kallik of the Vorthan Empire leaned forward in his seat, his sharp teeth glinting as he sneered. "Let us begin then," he growled. "I will present my trial first." Without waiting for permission, he stood up and addressed the room. Earth must surrender its claim to the asteroid belt near its solar system. It is rich in resources vital to the survival of superior races. A murmur rippled through the chamber. Many expected Alex to argue or protest, but instead he paused thoughtfully. After a few seconds, he spoke. "We understand the importance of those resources," he said. "However, we propose something different, a partnership. Let us work together to mine the asteroids, sharing both the labor and the rewards. In exchange, we offer our knowledge of sustainable extraction methods." The room fell silent. No one had anticipated such a response. Even Lyrakale, the aquatic diplomat watching from her floating tank, tilted her head slightly, intrigued by Alex's boldness. Ambassador Kallik's face twisted into a scowl. Clearly, he hadn't expected humans to turn his challenge into an opportunity for cooperation. Sophia stepped in to support Alex. She pulled up holographic displays showing designs for advanced mining equipment developed on Earth. "These tools can double efficiency while reducing environmental damage," she explained confidently. Her words were met with murmurs of approval from some delegates, particularly those who valued sustainability. Kallik sat back down, clearly frustrated. Though he tried to argue further, his points sounded weak compared to the practical solution offered by Alex and Sophia. For the first time, cracks began to form in the Council's united front against humanity. Later, as the session ended, Alex and Sophia returned to their quarters aboard the Pioneer Dawn *. Both were exhausted but hopeful. "That could have gone worse," Sophia said with a small smile. Alex chuckled softly. "It's only the beginning," he reminded her, "but we're holding our ground." Meanwhile, journalist Emma Lane watched the events unfold via live transmission. Back on Earth, she typed furiously, crafting a detailed report about the day's events. Her article highlighted Alex's clever strategy and Sophia's technical expertise. Readers around the globe devoured the story, proud of how their representatives handled themselves under pressure. Unbeknownst to everyone, Lyrakale approached Alex privately later that evening. "Your approach is unexpected," she admitted, "but it intrigues me. Perhaps there is more to your kind than we assumed." With that cryptic remark, she floated away, leaving Alex to wonder if humanity might have found its first ally among the stars. Though the road ahead remained uncertain, one thing was clear: humanity had made an impression, and it wasn't done yet. The next day began with a mix of anticipation and unease. Alex Carter and Lieutenant Sophia Bennett prepared themselves for another round of challenges at the Galactic Council. Though they had managed to handle Ambassador Kallik's demand with clever thinking, they knew tougher tests lay ahead. The council members were still skeptical about humanity's ability to adapt and survive in interstellar politics. Every move Alex and Sophia made was being closely watched, not just by the aliens but also by people back on Earth. As they entered the council chamber once again, Alex noticed subtle changes in the atmosphere. Some delegates who had mocked them before now seemed curious, leaning forward slightly in their seats as if expecting something surprising. Others remained hostile, their expressions hard and unyielding. Ambassador Kellic sat stiffly in his chair, his sharp eyes fixed on Alex like a predator waiting for its prey to slip up. This time, it was Ambassador Turin of the insectoid krill who stepped forward to present his trial. Turin's body was tall and segmented, covered in a glossy exoskeleton that reflected the light. His voice came out in a series of clicks and hums, translated into words by the Council's universal communication system. "Humans claim to value peace," he said, his tone cold and calculating. "Yet we have evidence that your kind has tampered with our technology. Explain yourselves." A wave of murmurs spread through the room. Alex felt his heart quicken, but he didn't let the panic show on his face. He exchanged a quick glance with Sophia, whom nodded almost imperceptibly. She already suspected what Turin was referring to. Over the past few weeks, Earth's satellites had detected strange signals coming from Krillian probes near their solar system. Scientists had analyzed these signals, trying to understand their purpose. In doing so, traces of human tech had accidentally been embedded in the probes. A mistake, but not an act of aggression. Alex cleared his throat and addressed the council calmly. "We admit that there was contact between our technology and yours," he said, "but it was unintentional. We were studying your probes to learn more about your species, hoping to avoid misunderstandings. If we caused offense, we apologize." He paused, letting his words sink in. Then he added, "However, I must point out that your probes were found within our territory without permission. Is this how you approach diplomacy?" Corinne froze, his mandibles twitching slightly. The accusation caught him off guard. Before he could respond, Sophia stepped forward, holding up a holographic display. It showed detailed scans of the Krillian probes moving through Earth's asteroid belt and even closer to the planet itself. "These probes are equipped with tools designed to hack into our systems," she explained. "They weren't here for peaceful exploration. They were spying on us." The room erupted into whispers. Many council members looked uncomfortable, realizing that Turin's accusations might be a distraction from his own misconduct. Elder Zorith raised a hand to silence the crowd. "Ambassador Turin," he said sternly, "is this true?" Turin hesitated, his clicking sounds growing louder as he struggled to find a response. Finally, he bowed slightly, though his movements were stiff. "It appears there has been a misunderstanding," he admitted reluctantly. With that, he returned to his seat, clearly defeated. Back aboard the Pioneer Dawn *, Alex and Sophia allowed themselves a brief moment of relief. "That was risky," Sophia said, letting out a long breath. "But it worked." Alex nodded. "For now," he replied. "We can't afford to let our guard down." Meanwhile, journalist Emma Lane published her latest article, detailing how humanity had turned the tables on the krill. Her report emphasized not only the cleverness of Alex and Sophia, but also the importance of transparency in dealing with alien races. Readers around the world cheered, feeling a renewed sense of pride in their representatives. Unbeknownst to them, Lyra Kale observed the events with growing interest. She floated silently in her water-filled suit, her large eyes reflecting deep thought. Humanity was proving to be far more complex than anyone had anticipated, including her. As the Galactic Council meeting continued, tensions simmered beneath the surface. Though Alex Carter and Lieutenant Sophia Bennett had successfully navigated 2 trials, they knew the challenges were far from over. The council members were unpredictable, and some clearly resented humanity's growing confidence. Back on Earth, journalist Emma Lane followed every update closely, her articles keeping the planet glued to the unfolding drama. Late one evening, after another long session, Sophia stayed behind in the Pioneer Dawn *''s communications room. She was reviewing data streams sent by Earth's intelligence agencies when something unusual caught her attention. Hidden within encrypted messages were fragments of information suggesting that certain council members were planning to sabotage humanity's chances. These weren't just rumors. There were specific details about leaked documents that could paint Earth as a threat to galactic stability. Sophia immediately shared her findings with Alex. "This isn't good," she said, her voice low but urgent. "Someone's trying to make us look dangerous. If these leaks get out during the next trial, it could ruin everything." Alex frowned, his mind racing. They needed allies, but trust was hard to come by in a room full of aliens who saw them as outsiders. Determined to act, Sophia reached out to Lyra Kale, the aquatic diplomat from the Synthery. Though their interactions had been brief, Lyra had shown signs of curiosity, and perhaps even sympathy, toward humanity. Using a secure channel, Sophia arranged a private meeting. When they met later that night in a quiet corner of the council building, Lyra floated silently, her shimmering form glowing faintly under the soft lights. "What do you want?" Lyra asked, her voice calm but guarded. Sophia didn't waste time. "We know there's a plot against us," she explained. "Some council members are planning to spread false information about Earth. We need your help to stop it." Lyra tilted her head slightly, her large eyes studying Sophia. "Why should I risk my position for you?" she asked. "The Synthery have no reason to involve ourselves in your struggles." Sophia hesitated, then spoke honestly. "Because if humanity falls here, it sets a precedent. The Council will always see weaker species as expendable. That includes yours." Her words hung in the air, and for a moment, neither of them moved. Finally, Lyra sighed softly. "Very well," she said. "I will assist you, but only because I believe fairness matters." With Lyra's help, Sophia uncovered more details about the conspiracy. It turned out that Ambassador Kalik of the Vorthan Empire was behind the plan, working with a few other hostile delegates. Their goal was to release forged evidence claiming Earth had developed weapons capable of destroying entire planets. The accusation would turn the Council against humanity instantly. Armed with this knowledge, Alex and Sophia devised a counter-strategy. Instead of waiting for the attack, they decided to strike first, not with aggression, but with transparency. During the next council session, Alex requested permission to address the assembly unexpectedly. When Elder Zoreth granted it, Alex stepped forward, his expression serious. "Before we proceed," he began, "we wish to share something important. There are rumors circulating about Earth harboring destructive weapons. Let me assure you, those claims are false." He gestured to Sophia, who activated a holographic display showing Earth's recent technological advancements. "These are not weapons," she explained. "They are tools for healing, medical devices, terraforming equipment, and systems designed to repair damaged ecosystems." The Council watched in silence, many visibly surprised by what they saw. Even Ambassador Kalik shifted uncomfortably in his seat, realizing his plan had been exposed prematurely. Elder Zoreth leaned forward, his ancient gaze piercing. "Is this true?" he asked. "It is," Alex replied firmly. "And we invite any delegate to inspect our ships personally. You'll find no secrets, only proof of our intentions." The room buzzed with murmurs. For the first time, cracks appeared in the united front against humanity. Some delegates exchanged glances, while others nodded approvingly. Lyra Kale floated quietly, a small ripple of movement in her tank hinting at satisfaction. Back on Earth, Emma Lane reported the bold move, praising Alex and Sophia's honesty. Readers celebrated the victory, though everyone knew the battle was far from over. Humanity had taken another step forward, but the road ahead remained uncertain. The mood in the Galactic Council chamber shifted after Alex Carter's unexpected display of transparency. Many delegates who had once doubted humanity now looked at Alex and Lieutenant Sophia Bennett with new curiosity. The forged evidence about Earth's supposed weapons had been disarmed before it could do harm, thanks to their quick thinking and Lyra Kale's quiet support. But Alex knew this was only a temporary victory. The council still viewed humans as inexperienced newcomers, and the final trials would test them like never before. The next challenge came from Elder Zorith himself, the leader of the council. His presence commanded respect, and when he rose to speak, the room fell silent. Humans claim to value unity, he said, his voice deep and resonant. But your history tells a different story. Wars, divisions, greed. These are the hallmarks of your species. Prove to us that you can overcome these flaws. Show us what true unity means. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. This wasn't just a question. It was a demand that struck at the heart of humanity's struggles. He glanced at Sophia, who gave him a small nod of encouragement. They had prepared for difficult questions, but this one required more than logic or strategy. It needed emotion, something real. Instead of responding immediately, Alex requested permission to present Earth's case through a live broadcast. Elder Zorith agreed, intrigued by the idea. Moments later, images from Earth filled the chamber, projected as holograms above the council floor. Scenes of people working together unfolded before the delegates' eyes. Farmers planting crops after devastating floods, scientists collaborating across borders to fight diseases, communities rebuilding cities shattered by earthquakes. There were no words, just raw visuals accompanied by soft music composed by an artificial intelligence program designed to evoke hope and resilience. The aliens watched intently, some leaning forward in their seats. Ambassador Kalik sneered at first, but even he seemed unable to look away. Lyra Kale floated silently, her large eyes reflecting wonder as she absorbed the images. For many of the council members, this was their first glimpse of humanity, not as a concept, but as living, breathing beings striving to improve despite their flaws. When the broadcast ended, Alex spoke. "Unity is not something we achieve overnight," he said. "It is a goal we work toward every day. We fail often, yes, but we also rise again. That is who we are. And if given the chance, we will bring that spirit to the stars." Elder Zorith sat motionless, his expression unreadable. After a long pause, he nodded slowly. "Your answer is noted," he said. Though his tone revealed little, the tension in the room eased slightly. Some delegates exchanged approving glances, while others remained skeptical. Later, aboard the Pioneer Dawn Alex and Sophia reviewed the events of the day. "That could have gone worse," Sophia said with a tired smile. "But we're not done yet." Alex nodded, rubbing his temples. "No, we're not. But maybe we've planted a seed." Back on Earth, journalist Emma Lane published another article, highlighting the broadcast and its impact. Readers around the globe felt a surge of pride, seeing their struggles and triumphs shared with the galaxy. Emma included quotes from experts who praised Alex and Sophia's approach, calling it both brave and inspiring. Meanwhile, Lyra Kale approached Alex privately later that evening. "You continue to surprise me," she admitted. "Your species is complicated, flawed, yet determined. Perhaps there is wisdom in your chaos." Her words lingered in Alex's mind as he returned to his quarters. Humanity had proven it could adapt, innovate, and inspire, but the hardest challenges were still ahead. And somewhere in the shadows, enemies like Ambassador Kalik plotted their next move. The journey was far from over. As the Galactic Council Summit entered its final stages, the atmosphere grew heavier with anticipation. Humanity's performance so far had been impressive, but Alex Carter and Lieutenant Sophia Bennett knew they couldn't afford to relax. The council members were still divided, with some openly admiring Earth's efforts and others determined to see humanity fail. Among these opponents, Ambassador Kalik of the Vorthan Empire remained a constant thorn in their side, his sharp eyes always watching for weaknesses. To ease tensions, the council decided to host a cultural exchange, an opportunity for each species to showcase its art, traditions, and values. For many delegates, this event was merely a formality, a chance to display their superiority through elaborate performances. But Alex saw it differently. He believed this was an opportunity to highlight humanity's unique strengths and creativity. On the day of the exchange, the council chamber transformed into a grand exhibition hall. Delegates from various alien races presented dazzling displays. Glowing sculptures that pulsed with energy, holographic dances performed by light-based beings, and intricate musical compositions played on instruments made of crystalline materials. Each performance was met with polite applause, though some carried an air of competition rather than celebration. When it was humanity's turn, Alex stepped forward alongside Sophia. Instead of presenting traditional human art or music, they unveiled something entirely unexpected. A piece created entirely by artificial intelligence. The AI had composed a symphony blending classical melodies with futuristic electronic tones, accompanied by visuals showing Earth's natural beauty and technological achievements. The result was mesmerizing. Waves crashing against cliffs, forests bathed in golden sunlight, cities alive with activity, all set to a hauntingly beautiful score. The council members watched in silence, captivated by the performance. Even Ambassador Kalec seemed momentarily stunned, his usual sneer replaced by a look of grudging admiration. When the final note faded, the room erupted into applause. Lyra Kale floated closer, her shimmering form glowing brighter than usual. "This is remarkable," she said softly. "You've shown us not just your creativity, but your ability to harmonize logic and emotion." Sophia used the moment to strengthen alliances further. She approached several sympathetic delegates, including Lyra and representatives from the peaceful Avenary race. Together, they discussed ways to support humanity if tensions escalated during the final trial. These quiet conversations laid the groundwork for a coalition that could tip the scales in Earth's favor. Back on Earth, journalist Emma Lane published a detailed report about the cultural exchange, emphasizing how humanity had stood out among the stars. Her article highlighted not only the artistic brilliance of the AI-composed symphony, but also the message behind it, a celebration of unity, innovation, and hope. Readers around the globe felt a renewed sense of pride, sharing clips of the performance online and sparking discussions about what it truly meant to be human. Despite the success of the cultural exchange, Alex and Sophia remained cautious. They knew the final trial would be the most challenging yet, requiring everything they had learned so far. As they prepared for the next day's session, they reviewed their strategies one last time. "We've earned some respect," Sophia said, "but respect isn't enough. We need trust." Alex nodded, gazing out at the stars visible through the ship's viewport. "Trust is built on action," he replied. "And tomorrow, we'll show them exactly what we're capable of." Unbeknownst to them, whispers of dissent still lingered in the shadows. Ambassador Kalec and his allies weren't ready to concede defeat. Not yet. But for now, humanity had proven it wasn't just another primitive species trying to find its place among the stars. It was a force to be reckoned with, full of potential and promise. The final trial arrived, and the air in the Galactic Council chamber was thick with tension. Everyone knew this would be the moment that decided humanity's fate. Elder Zorath stood at the center of the room, his towering presence commanding attention. "This is your last challenge," he announced, his voice echoing through the hall. "Prove to us that you are worthy of a place among the stars." Alex Carter stepped forward, his expression calm but focused. Beside him, Lieutenant Sophia Bennett held her head high, ready to face whatever came next. They had prepared for this day, but nothing could fully ease the weight of what was at stake. The council members leaned forward in their seats, their eyes fixed on the human representatives. Ambassador Kalec wasted no time seizing the opportunity to strike. Rising from his seat, he addressed the council with a sneer. "Enough of these games," he growled. "We have evidence that proves Earth is a threat to galactic peace." He gestured to one of his aides, who activated a holographic display. Images of Earth's military bases and advanced weaponry filled the room, accompanied by data claiming these tools could destroy entire planets. A murmur rippled through the chamber. Some delegates exchanged worried glances, while others looked skeptical. Alex didn't flinch. Instead, he turned to Elder Zoreth. "If the Council doubts our intentions, we invite you to inspect our ships personally," he said firmly. "You will find no weapons of mass destruction, only technology designed to heal and protect." Elder Zoreth nodded, intrigued by the offer. Moments later, a group of council members, including Lyra Kale and even a reluctant Ambassador Kellic, boarded the Pioneer Dawn Asterisk. As they moved through the ship, Alex and Sophia guided them to the cargo bay. There, instead of weapons, they revealed rows of medical equipment, terraforming tools, and devices capable of purifying polluted environments. Each item was explained in detail, showcasing humanity's focus on survival and restoration rather than destruction. Lyra floated silently, her large eyes reflecting approval. Even some of the more skeptical delegates seemed impressed. Ambassador Kellic scowled, clearly frustrated that his plan had been thwarted again. "These are just distractions," he muttered, though his words lacked conviction. When the inspection ended, the council reconvened in the chamber. Elder Zoreth addressed the assembly. "What we have seen today challenges our assumptions about Earth," he said. "Their actions speak louder than accusations. Humanity has proven it values transparency." The vote followed soon after. One by one, the delegates cast their decisions, to everyone's surprise, including Alex and Sophia. The majority voted in favor of granting Earth full partnership status within the Council. Cheers erupted from unexpected corners of the room, while enemies like Kellic sat fuming in silence. Back aboard the Pioneer Dawn Asterisk, Alex and Sophia allowed themselves a moment of relief. "We did it," Sophia said, her voice trembling with emotion. Alex smiled, though exhaustion lingered in his eyes. "For now," he replied. "But this is just the beginning." On Earth, journalist Emma Lane broke the news to a stunned world. Her article captured the historic moment, emphasizing how humanity had defied expectations and earned its place among the stars. People celebrated in the streets, waving flags and lighting up the night sky with fireworks. As the Pioneer Dawn Asterisk prepared to leave Valo 7, Lyra Kale approached Alex one last time. "You've changed us," she said softly. "For the better." With that, she floated away, leaving Alex to reflect on the journey ahead. Humanity had shocked the galaxy, but the real challenges were only beginning. The news of humanity's triumph spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Within minutes of the Council's decision, transmissions from Valo 7 reached every corner of the known universe. Delegates who had once dismissed Earth as insignificant now spoke of its unexpected brilliance. For many alien species, the idea that humans could rise so quickly from a primitive planet to full partnership in the Galactic Council was both shocking and inspiring. Back aboard the Pioneer Dawn Asterisk, Alex Carter and Lieutenant Sophia Bennett took a moment to process what had just happened. The weight of their victory, and the responsibility it carried, was sinking in. "We've made history," Sophia said quietly, her voice filled with awe. "But this isn't the end. It's just the start." Alex nodded, staring out at the stars through the ship's viewport. "Exactly. Now we have to prove we deserve this." On Earth, the reaction was overwhelming. Journalist Emma Lane worked tirelessly, publishing updates and interviews with experts about the significance of the Council's decision. Her articles highlighted not only the bravery of Alex and Sophia, but also the unity shown by humanity during the trials. People around the globe celebrated, organizing parades, lighting up landmarks, and sharing messages of hope on social media. For the first time in history, humanity felt truly connected, not just to each other, but to something greater. But not everyone was pleased. Ambassador Kellic of the Vorthan Empire seethed with anger, pacing in his quarters aboard the Council station. He had underestimated humans, and now he feared the consequences. If Earth continued to gain influence, it could disrupt the balance of power in the galaxy. Kellic wasn't alone in his concerns. A small faction of Council members began meeting secretly, plotting ways to limit humanity's growing presence. Meanwhile, Lyra Kale watched the events unfold with quiet admiration. She floated silently in her water-filled suit, reflecting on how much she had learned from Alex and Sophia. Humanity's flaws were undeniable. They were impulsive, emotional, and sometimes reckless, but they also possessed qualities rarely seen among older species: adaptability, creativity, and an unshakable determination to improve. Lyra decided then and there that she would continue supporting Earth, even if it meant going against some of her own kind. As the Pioneer Dawn prepared to depart Valo 7, Alex gathered his crew for one final meeting. "This mission has changed everything," he said, his tone serious. "But let's not forget why we're here. We represent billions of people back home, and our job is to protect them while exploring what's out there." Sophia added, "And we've made allies along the way. That matters." Before leaving, Alex received a private message from Lyra. In it, she offered words of encouragement and a warning. "Your journey will not be easy," she wrote. "There are those who fear change and will oppose you. Stay strong, Commander. You've already proven you can overcome the impossible." The Pioneer Dawn launched into space, heading back toward Earth. As the ship entered the vast darkness, Alex couldn't help but feel a mix of pride and unease. Humanity had earned its place among the stars, but the galaxy was vast and unpredictable. Enemies lurked in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike. Yet there was also potential for friendship, discovery, and growth. For now, though, Alex allowed himself a rare moment of peace. He thought about the faces of the people back home, the scientists, farmers, teachers, and dreamers who had made this achievement possible. They had sent him and his crew into the unknown, trusting them to represent their hopes and dreams. And somehow, against all odds, they had succeeded. Humanity's story in the stars was just beginning. What lay ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear: Earth was no longer alone. It was part of something bigger, a tapestry woven from countless worlds and cultures. And for better or worse, humanity was ready to leave its mark. As the Pioneer Dawn traveled back to Earth, its crew spent their days reflecting on the journey that had changed everything. Alex Carter and Lieutenant Sophia Bennett sat together in the ship's observation deck, watching as stars streaked past the windows. The silence between them wasn't uncomfortable. It was filled with unspoken thoughts about what they had accomplished and the challenges still ahead. Back on Earth, life had transformed almost overnight. News of humanity's acceptance into the Galactic Council dominated every conversation. People who had never cared much about space exploration now found themselves fascinated by alien cultures and interstellar politics. Schools held special lessons about the Council Summit, and businesses rushed to create products inspired by the event. Everything from toys modeled after the Pioneer Dawn to music albums featuring the I-composed symphony that had stunned the galaxy. Journalist Emma Lane continued to cover the story, her articles reaching audiences far beyond Earth. She wrote about how humanity's success had sparked a global sense of pride and unity. For the first time in years, nations seemed to set aside their differences, working together to prepare for the responsibilities of galactic partnership. Leaders from around the world gave speeches emphasizing cooperation, and even longtime rivals began discussing joint projects aimed at advancing Earth's role in the stars. But not everyone celebrated. In hidden corners of the galaxy, whispers of dissent grew louder. Ambassador Kallik of the Vorthan Empire remained furious, his hatred for humanity burning brighter than ever. He gathered allies among the Council's more aggressive factions, forming a secret coalition determined to undermine Earth's newfound status. "They are weak," he told his followers, "and weakness cannot be allowed to spread." Kallik's plans were dangerous, but Alex and Sophia couldn't focus on them yet. Their priority was preparing Earth for the changes to come. When the Pioneer Dawn finally entered Earth's atmosphere, it was greeted by an overwhelming welcome. Crowds lined the streets near the landing site, cheering as the ship descended. Reporters swarmed the area, eager to hear directly from Alex and his crew. When Alex stepped off the ship, he was met with thunderous applause. Cameras flashed, and people chanted his name. Beside him, Sophia smiled warmly, waving to the crowd. They looked exhausted but proud, their uniforms bearing the marks of weeks spent navigating one of humanity's greatest challenges. Alex raised a hand to quiet the crowd before speaking. "This victory belongs to all of us," he said, his voice steady despite the emotions swirling inside him. "We've shown the galaxy what we're capable of, but our work is just beginning." Later that evening, Alex and Sophia met with government officials and scientists to discuss the next steps. Humanity needed to build new infrastructure, develop advanced communication systems, and establish embassies for alien visitors. It was a daunting task, but no one doubted they could rise to the occasion. That night, Alex stood alone on a balcony overlooking the city. Lights twinkled below, a reminder of the billions of lives depending on him and his team. He thought about Lyra Kale's parting words. "Stay strong." He knew she was right. The road ahead wouldn't be easy, especially with enemies like Halleck plotting against them. But Alex also knew something else. They weren't alone anymore. Humanity had allies, both on Earth and among the stars. As he gazed up at the sky, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose. Earth had taken its first step into the galaxy, proving it could stand alongside older, more advanced species. Whatever came next, humanity would face it together. The adventure was far from over, but for the first time, Alex felt truly hopeful about the future. The Pioneer Dawn had returned to Earth, but the journey for humanity was only beginning. Alex Carter and Lieutenant Sophia Bennett found themselves at the center of a whirlwind of activity. Governments, scientists, and corporations worked around the clock to prepare Earth for its new role in the galaxy. New technologies were developed, diplomatic protocols were established, and plans were made to host alien delegations on Earth. It was a time of excitement and uncertainty. Back in space, whispers of resistance continued to grow among humanity's enemies. Ambassador Kallik of the Vorthan Empire was relentless, rallying his allies to challenge Earth's place in the Galactic Council. He argued that humans were too unpredictable, too emotional, and too inexperienced to be trusted with galactic responsibilities. "They are children playing with fire," he declared during a private meeting with his faction, "and we must stop them before they burn us all." But not everyone shared Kallik's hostility. Lyra Kale, the aquatic diplomat from the Xanthari, remained one of humanity's strongest supporters. She used her influence within the council to counter Kallik's arguments, reminding others of the courage and creativity humans had shown. "They may be young," she said in a council session, "but their potential is limitless. To dismiss them is to ignore the very essence of growth." On Earth, journalist Emma Lane published her final article about the summit, focusing on what the future might hold. Her piece ended with a powerful question. What will we do now that the galaxy is watching? The words resonated deeply with readers, sparking debates about how humanity should navigate its new role. Some called for caution, urging Earth to focus on learning from older species. Others pushed for bold action, arguing that humanity should seize this opportunity to lead and innovate. Alex and Sophia spent their days meeting with leaders, sharing their experiences, and helping to shape Earth's strategy for the years ahead. They emphasized the importance of staying true to humanity's values: compassion, curiosity, and resilience. "We didn't win their trust by pretending to be something we're not," Alex told a group of politicians. "We won because we showed them who we really are." As weeks turned into months, signs of change became visible everywhere. Schools introduced courses on alien languages and cultures. Scientists collaborated with engineers to build advanced communication arrays capable of reaching distant stars. Even artists were inspired, creating works that celebrated humanity's connection to the cosmos. One evening, Alex stood on the same balcony where he had reflected after returning home. The city below glowed softly under the night sky, alive with dreams and possibilities. Beside him, Sophia joined silently, holding 2 cups of coffee. "It's strange, isn't it?" she said after a moment. "A year ago, no one thought we'd make it this far." Alex nodded, sipping his drink. "Yeah, but we did more than survive. We proved ourselves. Now comes the hard part, living up to what we've promised." Sophia smiled faintly. "We'll figure it out. We always do." In the distance, a shooting star streaked across the heavens, a reminder of the vastness beyond Earth's borders. Humanity had taken its first steps into the galaxy, overcoming fear and doubt to claim its place among the stars. The road ahead would be challenging, filled with both opportunities and dangers. But as Alex looked up at the endless expanse of space, he felt a quiet confidence. Humanity wasn't perfect. It never had been. But it carried something rare and precious: hope. And so, with hearts full of determination and eyes fixed on the horizon, humanity stepped boldly into its future, ready to write the next chapter of its story among the stars.